All right, the Canik TTI Combat. First rounds, first impressions. Here we go. No optic on the gun. It's not something we can purchase myself. It is very, very nice. If you look at my first 2 rounds on that target, which is a VTAC, I'm about 7 yards. Like I said, it's a really, really nice gun. I have no problems with it. Iron sights are good. The comp is good. No problems keeping it all in the A box, as you can see down there. Very, very flat shooting gun. I'm impressed with it. I'm not a big fan of Canik. It's not something that I personally am going to buy, but out of the box, these irons are good. This comp does what it needs to do. The mag well's great. I really love the aggressive stippling on here. It comes with extra interchangeable back straps. I'd probably put a larger one on here, but it seems to fit my hands rather well. I'm gonna hand this thing off to Ian and let him shoot it and tell you what he thinks.
My turn with the TTI, we get to shoot on the muggiest day of the year on the wet range.
Yep, it's super wet.
So we'll see. I'll see how it gets on. It feels great. The sights look good. It is actually.
What do you think? Pretty flat shooting, huh?
Yeah, really not bad. I mean, I've shot flatter guns.
Yeah.
For what it is, a Canik, it's really not bad.
Yeah, I think so too, man. I'm not quite sure it's a $1,000 gun. I have a Shadow Systems that's comp that shoots flatter than that. And I think that the macro actually shoots a little bit better than it does. But the sights, the trigger, the ability to get back on target is exceptional. And what you get for the money is really nice. A really nice case, a piece that you could say, hey, I collected if you're into Caniks, and something you can put an optic on and thoroughly enjoy.
The trigger is actually really nice.
It is. All right, man. Well, I'm going to get some more rounds on it.
Let's go.
I'm going to get a few more rounds on this thing, and then we're going to head back to the shop and give you our first impressions and our take on this gun. I don't know if you guys know me too well, but this thing is exceptionally accurate. If you look right there at the face, I'm cutting bullet holes now at about 7 yards with ease. It is a super accurate gun. It will shoot. It is super easy to pick up the reset, and just the impulse of the recoil. You know when you're firing that last round, that slide locks back. I mean, I like it. I think there's more pros than cons. If you're a Canik guy, this might be the gun for you. We'll see you back at the shop later. All right, guys, we're back from the range. And that said, we had no choice but to cut it short. There was a lot of noise, a lot of people. It's the first really sunny day we've had in a week since Debbie came through, right? A lot of rain. You guys heard me talk a lot about the Canik TTI, but you haven't heard Ian's opinion so much. So we're going to close out with this. I'll give you some more talking points that I have about the gun, but we're going to hand it over to him.
So as far as shooting the TTI for me, I will say it's a great feeling gun in your hand. The trigger is absolutely fantastic, especially for what the gun costs. But as far as a compensator goes for what the gun costs, I do not think it does anywhere near as much as it should for the gun and for you when you're shooting it. The gun looks fantastic, but I don't think I'd spend as much money on it as what people are asking for it, just because of the way it shoots. Everything else, totally fine.
I agree with everything Ian said. I will say the gun is remarkably accurate. It's super accurate. It's easy to find the reset. You can feel the impulse as you shoot. It's really, I would say, almost slow cycling. So each time the mag locked to the rear on that gun, I almost knew that I had to change mags, right? For me, I was just using irons at about 7 to 10 yards. Great control. The comp is very lackluster on that gun. That said, I don't think that I would personally purchase that gun. The palm swell felt good. Everything about it is aesthetically pleasing. overall, is it a home run for Canik? What do you think, man?
No, I think you can get something just as well for a little bit less money from one of their other weapons. And
I tend to agree, because the Combat Executive is a great gun, shoots great. I don't notice enough recoil mitigation from the comp, and that gun's no longer out. But then you could also argue that, you know, you get a lot from the Rival Series too, if that's what you're looking for, those really flashy guns with a mag well and such as that. But, you know, Smith now has a comp gun, so I'm interested in that gun. You also see Shadow Systems doing comp guns that are roughly the same price. There's a lot of great competitors in that market. And that said, when we think about value, there's not enough value there at $1,000, I think, for Canik. Yeah. I think that Century Arms has got involved with what they're doing and looking to take a budget firearm and make it a high-end firearm to maximize profits, and that's not there. You know, Terran's putting his name on just about anything. Just because the price of something is expensive doesn't mean that the gun is worth it. Just like Geisley Super Duties. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, like I have a ultra rare Geisley Super Duty. I'm about to unload it. It's not a great gun. You know, it's being outshot by Daniels, Noveskis, and other firearms. Recoil impulse isn't there. Same thing, like I said, with Canik. They could have done better. They could have done more with what they're offering. The case is really nice. If that's what you're into, is a collectible. But man, I would almost argue, save yourself about $400 on the gun itself. Get you a red dot, get you some ammo, get you some training, go out and shoot. That's $400, man. Like, you can literally get into a Rival at about $600. You can find a used one for about $500, and that'll get you a nice red dot, and you'll get more for your money out of it. I mean,
or even just a Glock. Glock always wins for one, and you can compensate a Glock or a Shadow Systems, and I think you'd have a better firing weapon right there.
So we're both going to go ahead and, I think, say this is a pass, a hard pass. Yep. This isn't anything special. It's just another Canik with a steep price tag. Yeah. Steep price tag. So for us, it's a pass. If it breaks your heart, look, it's opinions. We have ours. You have yours. They're just better options, and I'm telling you that from a professional standpoint. All right, guys. Till next time, thanks for watching. As always, go with God. That said, He is the truth, the light, the way. We'll see you again, my friends, later.